usually either one or two things. It's either of it, like how they speak about what it is and how they present it to somebody else, how they show somebody else that it's relevant to them, and who the heck they have to talk to, So there's the
Right.
audience building part of it, but there's also the positioning part. How do they, so basically, how do they talk about the thing so that the other person goes,
Hmm.
ooh, that's interesting, right? So, and the problem with it is, I think, is that when you feel you're not heard, it's easy to go down the self-doubt rabbit hole. And I think a lot of that's what I see a lot, where then people question the value of their offers. And if they're in a bit of a, space, then they can even go down the route to question their own value, and that's basically where the danger of that lies.
Wow, you bring up a very interesting point. Of course, in my work, I see it more specifically on the one-on-one, that I'm focusing my attention on you. I'm talking to you. You're important to me. You're special to me. And I want to share part of my life that's important to me. You're taking that to the general, where I put something out on social media. And that's I love that point. And I'm just going to ponder on it a minute. Because what you're saying is, when I put something out there on social media, I expect people to respond as if what I'm saying is special, as if I'm special, and as if they're special. But of course, it's kind of to a general audience, and social media can be so overwhelming that we can't respond to everything. And truth be told, not everything is interesting. So it's very interesting that social media also can create that sense of sadness, loneliness. What I have to say isn't important. And it's interesting how that sometimes comes in then into the personal realm.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you talk about honing your audience, whoever these strangers are out there who might want to hear you, for me, it's kind of when you're with a partner or somebody that's important to you, is to ask them for the kind of listening you want. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily want you to fix anything. I don't want you to, I want to say something and I'd like you to say present with me. What I have to say might be a little bit harsh. Please don't go behind a wall. Stay with me. Don't run away. Whereas you don't necessarily have that option when you're communicating without that focus on social media. So I love that you and I see it so differently, because I work in the more intimate, personal
Mm-hmm.
field, and you see it where people are trying to put out things in a more public arena. And I have to just share that somebody told me about this thing called the status on WhatsApp. You probably know all about it, right? So I've started this, I'm going to try this. And as I said to my kids, I probably will not do it again, or certainly not much, because the whole time they told me, oh, you can see who's looking, who's not looking. And that's what I spent my day doing. Who's looking? And it kind of annoyed me. And I thought, this is not what I'm looking for outside appreciation for what I've done. And anyway, I took the photograph that I put there and I sent it to people who I thought would find it interesting. So I did the specific and I did the general. And the general
Mm.
didn't give me a great feeling, because not because people didn't respond, but because I was looking there all the time. If you know
Mm.
what I mean. I had this like contraction in my body.
Yeah, I mean, I find that fascinating. Like to think, well, now what would happen if we were to sort of cross over from, because see, I'm thinking now, if I'm thinking of a partner, like kind of not really paying that much attention to, now what if I applied a little bit of the source from here and say, well, now how if I position that conversation differently to make it more enticing for you, right? How if I put what I want to talk about in a way where I show how it's relevant to you? So, I don't have to, like, here, I want you to listen to me. It's like, well, I've got something that should be interesting to you because, right?
Hmm.
So now, how can I pull that other person in with the same kind of rules of positionings that I would kind of use in a more public arena, and the other way around, what will happen, and I've seen this taught, what will happen if you on social media or wherever in this public space give people more precise instructions about what you'd like them to do.
So that's so interesting when you bring that into the personal arena, that I have something to say that's important for you to hear. And I would package that, if you like. It's important for me to share with you what I want to share in an intimate relationship. It's important to me that you hear it. Why? Because we live together. Because we depend on our relationships. Our relationship isn't out there. What I have to say, is important in building our relationship, in deepening our connection. So it's not that I want to put it in a way that I think you should hear this, but it's important to me that you hear this, and can you take it in a way that's going to bring us closer, even if it's a bit painful to hear it, even if maybe what I have to say is a little boring. It's important to me because I always say we don't sacrifice. Terry Real says you don't sacrifice to the other in the relationship. You sacrifice to the relationship. Yeah, you know what? I have 5 minutes now. Tell me what it is. What happened at work today that you really want to share with me?
Yeah. I mean, to kind of offer this, to be available, like it requires a lot of availability, doesn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And, and I think see, my mind's going, but how can you support that if because we're always in different spaces emotionally and where we're at. So while I might be like, I really want to share this, and he might be like, oh yeah, but I just like Rafa Nadal is just winning, so where it's like, well, maybe it's not the right moment to bring this
and that's
in,
okay. It's okay. I have something really important that I want to share with you. When would be a good time? Yeah. It's also to respect that your partner might be doing something else and you really want their full attention. When would it be a good time? Because I really want your full attention for this. Yeah. When would you be able to give that? So you definitely need that open back and forth, that negotiation, which comes in every situation, every challenge that we have. We need to do the negotiation bit. Yeah. So I'm getting what I want and you can get what you want, and you have the opportunity to give me what I need.
Yeah.
Which is very important.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'm just thinking sort of in the professional world, like in a like, say if I'm working one-to-one with somebody, it's almost like that's kind of easy. Like, because you have the one-to-one relationship, but you don't really have that emotional investment as you have in your private relationship. So I think it's a lot easier to say these things, and also when like, yeah, it's a work relationship. Like, of course they're going to come and we listen to each other, right? So it's like the whole setup of the relationship is really, it's very much easier there because the whole.
So that's a very good point to notice the depth and the meaning of each relationship. That's the thing. A relationship is minute to minute, and it depends with whom you're communicating. And to notice, it's easier for me when there's distance between us. This is a professional relationship, as to when I come closer. Just to notice those things.
Yeah.
Anke, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Great. Thank you. I've got my mind spinning now, so it's always interesting. I always find that fascinating when those two worlds come together and we see how much is actually the same. Yeah.
Thank you.